Across the Mississippi River in Bellville, Illinois, there's a farm called Eckert, and it's apple season, so let's go apple picking. But first, a snack. Everyone loves a good snack, and here at Eckert's they have all kinds of apple-themed snacks. This is an apple cider donut, and let me tell you, this donut was very tasty. But they also have apple pies, and apple pastries, and apple cider, and you get the deal. Let's go pick our own apples. Everyone was pretty pumped, but Grace was more excited to pet the goats later on. To go pick the apples, they put you on the cart, which isn't really a hayride because there's no hay, and they bring you out to the apple fields. Eckert has been around since 1890 and blends the present with the past. A lot of things have changed since I was a kid going here, but one thing hasn't changed, and that's when you get picking apples, it's all serious business. We were picking Jonathan's, Golden Delicious, and Red Delicious today. Sometimes you find the perfect apple, but then it's not that perfect. Most of the time they're up high. They're just out of your reach. So you get frustrated, kick a tree. And then you shake the tree. And of course the tree fights back. Well, you're not going to let that tree treat your friend like that. So you show that tree who's boss. And then that tree almost gives you a concussion. But in the end, you do get a delicious apple. And that apple was delicious. Of course, there are many ways to pick an apple. Some require the skills of a monkey. And sometimes what is required is permanent damage to your friend's spinal column. My horoscope says there's no universal experience, but it seems like everyone's pretty proud of the apples they pick.
This is a really good one.
You found it.
So I found this apple, had a really cute leaf on it, like a storybook, but then I tore the leaf off, so. But I'm still really proud of it, so.
Even as we fill up our bags, more apple pickers to be arrive in the wagons. You have to eat at least 3 or 4 apples when you're out picking, just so it's worth your time. But then you run into the problem, what do I do with all these apples that I've eaten? And you gotta ask the question, do you eat it or eat it? Eat it. Eat it. Oh. You eat it. Savage. After messing up a whole bunch of apples, we all had our fill and we piled back onto the tractor. Mark felt left out not having a segment of eat it or eat it, so here's his. I don't know what I'm going to do with 4 pounds of apples, maybe make a pie. So we ordered food and drinks from this small bar, and we all got nachos, but none of the nachos had cheese. It was such a fiasco, the manager actually came out and apologized. But there was live music, so it was pretty cool all in all. And of course, because Grace had been waiting all day, we had to make our way over to the petting zoo. It was a couple dollars for a cup of either pellets or carrots. But it was totally worth it after seeing how excited Grace was. Everyone was having fun, though I felt kind of bad for these animals. They didn't even have any shade in their enclosure. It wasn't a hot day, but I can imagine during the summer it gets pretty sweltering. There's this one goat, the one that Grace is feeding now, that reminded Mark of a goat that his parents used to have. It had a pretty cool black and white kind of cookies and cream thing going on. And they didn't just have goats, they had sheep and alpacas. They had a cow and some ponies. The real attraction here at Eckert's is the seasonal fruit. The animals were an extra thing for the young ones, and for the young ones at heart. Though they don't let you ride the ponies if you're in that latter category. If you're young at heart, you try to ride the tricycles, even if they're too small for you. Maybe it's a little bit silly, but you're allowed to be a little bit silly. There's literally nothing stopping you from doing what you want. So just go out there and have some fun. As long as you're not hurting anyone, I think you're probably good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tune in next time.